Hello everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to have a look at the position of the ES because that's the S&P 500 index in the United States, because we are at what could be a very important junction right at the moment. But as usual, we start with our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and trading purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing. Put another way, all trade decisions are your own responsibility, and losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. Right, I want to have a look at a position of the ES, which is the S&P 500. I want to have a look at a slightly longer term position. Well, before we get there, you can see on our 15-minute chart we had a very nice VS volume spike buy that came right off DP support there with the rally over the last day or so. But let's clear that off because I want to go to a slightly longer time frame chart. I want to go to an 8-hour chart. We've been looking at this for a while, where if you remember a video we did a while ago, we were saying that this high here was potentially a major high. And the reason we looked at that is if I place our major pivots on, what we're looking at, and I scroll out a bit, was the corrective rally up here was unfolding as a major ABC. So if I right mouse click over here and do Elliott wave major, you can see this is what we're looking like, a major ABC with the high here, a major or at the minimum wave CWPT. So what's happened since then? Well, the market's declined down and it started to make a corrective rally up. This is exactly what we were thinking may be happening a few weeks ago, which I've been talking about in our customers training section of the website. In particular, is if this is a major high in here, this would be the initial decline down. This will be then the initial rally back up. If I right mouse click, do Elliott wave major again, as you can see, a potential wave 2 or B. Now the area where I was saying that we might well be getting a high come in, and I was saying this back when this TS3 buy setup came in, we're saying if this is a corrective rally, then we'll be anticipating a rally up into the DP from the last swing high. So I'll just clear this lot off just so it just makes it a little bit easier. So I'll just use our training mode to go back to around about here somewhere. And I said this in our training customer only training webinar literally about a week ago, saying that the important place to look for a reversal was the DP off this high. So right mouse click, do a decision point, you can see that's on the chart in advance. So this would be an area of where we'd anticipate that if this is a corrective rally coming up here, this would be the area of where a potential reversal could, I don't say will, I say could unfold. So if we turn the training mode off, you can see this is exactly where we are right at the moment. So what would this pattern look like? Well, you can see down here we have what's obviously an ABC correction. So I can just do Elliott wave intermediate, see an ABC correction. So what could the pattern be up here? Well, we could have a wave A, and this could be a choppy wave B to a wave C. So if I clear that off, what would that mean if I do our WPTs or wave price targets for a potential manual Elliott wave count? This would then need 3 clicks, the start of wave A, the end of wave A, and then the end of wave B there. And as you can see, we're also at the minimum wave CWPT there for a potential A, B, C. So as you can see here on this 8-hour chart, we're at what could be a potential reversal area. I'm not saying it will reverse, but it's an area to watch for reversal. If it does reverse here, well then we could get a decline down into probably the initial target would be down here somewhere around the 2950. If not, then it would be a decline down further, and the next major support zone would be off this low here, right the way down at this level here. So this is the next major support zone. What happens on the other side if this is taken out and this high doesn't appear at the top here? Then the next likely area is to take out this high here. If this high here is then taken out, then what I've said for quite a while now is then we'd probably get a rally to new highs beyond the major high here we had back in, when was that? Beginning of March, wasn't it? February, March. To then have a rally up to the DPs at this level. So as you can see here, we're at a pretty important point, because if this is taken out, then this will be taken out. If this is taken out, we then probably go out, up to take that high out, to then do a rally up to the 3,600 level. However, if that doesn't happen, and we do get a high coming in here, well then this would be the corrective high before a decline down here. So this is why I wanted to do this video right here, right now, because this is an important level. If I now put the Elliott wave count on here, Elliott wave intermediate, you can see this is what we're looking at for a potential wave tool B low here, for then a decline down to come. If we go to a slightly shorter time frame chart, say the 15-minute chart, you can see we are now starting to make a potential rollover at the DP high off there. So we'll wait and see what happens now, to see whether a high is indeed coming in at this level and whether we continue to decline or whether that's taken out. But the important point to notice, and that's why I'm doing this video here and now, is that this is a decision point at this level. I'm not calling or not saying which way that decision will be made. I'm just outlining that we are at a point now where a reversal could happen. If it does, the decline will carry on down quite nicely. If it doesn't, well then I've outlined the parameters of where it could go to next. So the point being is that here we are right here, right now, of where the ES is probably, or the S&P index in America is probably going to make an important decision. What's also quite interesting is we're just coming off a nice rally, a rally that basically went up into the US holiday, the Independence Day holiday. That is very typical, where you get a rally into a holiday, then a correction after as well. So again, that makes this even more potent to see what happens at this point right here, right now. So we'll probably come back to this in a few weeks' time and see what the market has done after this, to see whether a high does come in here or whether we're now going to get a break to new highs as outlined earlier. So a decision coming fairly soon in the US stock market.